This song, he says, I'm sick of the interstate, I need a bend in the road, I'm going to take the long way home, I'm going to take the back road. And I know what he means, having driven, well, we've done 3,300 miles, a lot of it on the interstate, but we've got off the beaten track a fair bit. We're on our way to Winston-Salem, to the north of North Carolina. Just north of downtown Winston-Salem here in North Carolina. In the shadows of the R.J. Reynolds Tower over there. It looks pretty old actually. Big RJR smokestack. Tobacco company. Yeah. Here in Winston-Salem. Well, just driving down the street, Bowman Grey Stadium we came across. This is a former cup track from the 50s, 60s. The last one was run here in 1970. Got the skyline of Winston-Salem in the background. Look at the old school ticketing windows. Nice one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixture here. There's little pockets that look a bit better, more well kept and things like that, and there's others that are a little bit more Memphis-ish, as you mentioned, and run down.
Yeah, they haven't let everything overgrow like they do in Memphis. We're looking for signs for the 52. I'm going to keep heading south because there's not one there.
See?
But it's a beautiful day here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Kermit's Hot Dog House. Look at it. Drive in and get your hot dog. General Dollar on the left there.
Hair braiding. Gives you a bit of an idea of the type of people that probably more around.
Well, it's a predominantly black area. No doubt about that. But to me, that makes it a lot more interesting. Yes, we're not in what you'd call a tourist precinct, which is exactly what I love about this sort of stuff.
Get to really see the place.
Yeah. And if we were up here for the Winston Cup Museum, and if we just hit the highway after we'd been there, because that was right next to the interstate, then we wouldn't have seen all this. It's been good.
Yeah.
There's some olds. And again, then I went looking for a little old NASCAR Cup Stadium, which had from the 50s and 60s, and this is the sort of area that it's in. So I'm going to chuck a right simply because that's, as the crow flies, is where we're going. But even as run down as it sort of is, and it's, as I say, it's not really, but you wouldn't have thought they've got a lot of money to play with. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know which way to go, so I'll just keep going straight ahead.
It's the 40 west going out that way.
I don't see any signs for 52 though. So we'll go over here and have a look at the map. It's pretty still is what I was going to say. It's still reasonably pretty. To stop and pull over, because no sooner did we go underneath the 40 that we found our 52 south, which is exactly where I thought it would be. But to be honest, on this trip I've thought it was going to be a lot of the times where it wasn't. It's all good though. Been kicking goals left, right and centre lately. This is the main drag of Welcome, North Carolina. And everyone we've met here so far has been very welcoming in Welcome. Our new friend Carol from the Richard Childress Museum, the one that used to work for Dale Earnhardt, she was telling us, wasn't she, BB, that she has sold...
She sold a small parcel of land of 5 acres? Yeah. Sold it for $20,000.
20 grand, it's $4,000 an acre.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's not bad countryside. It's not like unworkable or you couldn't do anything with it. Remarkable. 20 grand for 5 acres.
It's pretty cheap.
It's beautiful around here. This is approximately 10 miles north of Mooresville, just east of the 77. We're actually on 801 south at the moment. Going north on Highway 3 back into Mooresville. As Barbara said, people around here have got a lot of pride in their properties.
So many have made the effort to put in little extras, flowers, baskets, you know, you name it, just to pretty it up.
We're going for a little boat ride on Lake Norman. It's all but clean. Up to the upper deck. You got a spot here in the shade.
Yeah, well, semi-shade.
Because the rest of it's full almost. There's a bit of room at the back in the sun. And we are the youngest on this boat by a wide margin, with the exception of the young lady on the bar.
Yes, the staff are a bit younger, but
I mean, like a long way. Mid-70s would be the next youngest.
oh well.
This is called Queen's Landing. Function centre, tours, bar, restaurant, grill.
All company.
Yeah, well, we haven't left yet.
Yeah.
That's a good shot of the flag of North Carolina. Underneath, of course, the Star Spangled Banner. They're back to full mast now after a few days of half mast for the commemorations of 9/11. September 14 today.
Marker, you'll notice a bunch of sticks piled on top of that sign. That's an osprey nest. Ospreys are large birds of prey. Their wingspan can reach up to about 5 feet. You might have heard them referred to, some people call them fish hawks. But osprey build their nest around the water because they live mainly on the fish that they catch out of Lake Norman. Now this time of year, the ospreys have actually started leaving. They go down to South America for the winter, so there's nobody home here at this nest, I don't think. They haven't been here for about a week or so.
But no protest was offered. The Indians were as used to its ebb and flow as they were to the bears lumbering through wild Shiva and deer and buffalo grazing in the grass. The Indians called it Esquatine.
Look at the buzzard circling
Probably
there.
somebody's got a dead fish around.
He was just saying that that's actually just evaporation coming out of that chimney. It's a coal burning plant, the cleanest and greenest in the United States, and that's the electricity station for the Carolinas, north and south, right there, next to Lake Norman. And there's some RVs and caravans, as we call them, trailers as they call them.
Yeah, you'll notice this square green sign that we're passing here off the right side, and you also notice the shoreline that has been extended out as the lake level has dropped. Those signs mark the boundaries of the main channel. So as long as you stay on the lake side of those signs, you usually be in deep enough water so you don't run aground, and you'll see those signs around the lake if we go around today.
The captain just told us homes on the Kaiser Island. This is a little island. It's actually got a causeway they built that leads to it. Are about $1 million to buy. Which by Perth, the West Australian standards is...
It just left us a bit speechless because this is one of the elite parts that you can only get to through a causeway, and it's a very select little area with large houses on it. $1 million? That's incredible.
Yeah, who would have thought the Aussie dollar would go so far in the USA? If you know what I mean.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look back in this small cove that we're passing here off the right side of the boat, you'll see two homes that are quite unique here on Lake Norman. They're actually built out over the surface of the water on pylons. Although now that the lake level's down, it looks like one of them's almost on the shoreline. But there's only a few homes like that that's built on Lake Norman, since current regulations prevent you from building a residence over the surface of the lake. And if you lived in one of those homes, you might get a little excited if you saw the level of Lake Norman begin to increase. I've actually seen the water level up to the floor of those homes. Now, Lake Norman's level does vary seasonally. Normally it's at its lowest level, which is about 6 to 7 feet down, usually around the middle part of January.
I think I mentioned the other day that I thought Lake Norman was pretty vast. It's actually 34 miles from the north to the south and 8 miles wide at its widest point. But there's so many inlets that there's actually 500 miles of coast, if you know what I mean, for the want of a better expression. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
What I reckon would be a better idea is, with all these lovely homes on it, rather than have them homes built right on the water edge where they say flooding can be a problem, I think I would want the house up the hill a little bit so it stays nice and dry, but then have like a little gazebo or something right down towards the water's edge, and you could sit out there in the evenings and plant something then. That would be my design.
Plenty of gazebos out on the end of the docks. Case in point. Here comes lunch. Some of it, several $1 million these ones are worth. And you can understand that. They are grandiose.
Just the difference in the way they're speaking, where that's a mega wealthy property developer whose property is worth about $2.5 million. If you use that as a comparison with Perth, that same money would get you something fairly standard in Netherlands, for example. It wouldn't take you to, the mega wealthy. Bit of difference.
I'm hearing you. But it doesn't really matter when you don't have $2.5 million, but your point is well taken.
True.
I'll tell you what though, what you can buy in Craigie, Perth, Western Australia, compared to what you can buy here in North Carolina,
For that amount of money,
is outrageous.
absolutely.
Absolutely outrageous.
We saw so many properties that were actually a lot less than would cost you in Craigie, and they were fabulous looking properties.
Yeah, you couldn't buy the number one shithole in Craigie for what you can buy a really nice house
Yeah.
here in a really nice area
You can
in Mooresville, Davidson, Cornelius, North Carolina.
you can still get lakeside here for $800,000. It's
Yeah.
just that we've looked at some of the bigger houses, but you can get a normal,
nice house,
beautiful
normal, yep.
4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. You can get for $800,000 actually on the lake, according to the books and things and the real estate books that we've seen. So use that as a comparison. There's nothing lakeside you could get for that price in Perth. Waterside.
Or Western Australia.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the west.
Yeah, true.
BB's quite taken with the little conifer cones.
I've been going crazy with a hedge cutter there.
I pulled with Daddy as long as I knew pull for anybody.
You're a Dale Earnhardt fan?
Oh yeah, very
Yeah.
much so, yeah.
Where are you from, sir?
I live in Newton, North Carolina.
Oh, that's where his Chevrolet dealership is.
Yeah, they worked on my car
Really?
and charged me $572.
Was that a good or a bad price?
Bad for me. Now you're not from around here, you talk different.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we're from Western Australia.
You see here off the starboard right side of the boat.
What you do away over here?
Home with the
Having a look around.
Okay.
Yeah.
next time look for race cars.
Certainly a nice way to while away an hour and a half in the
They're
middle of
making
the
our turn
day.
here to head back into Queen's Landing.
we've been telling, when people ask where we're from, we say Perth, Western Australia. Oh, there's a Perth Road out near the airport. You have to go and get your picture taken there. Well, I said, we've done that. There's another look. Street signs. Keep filming, BB. I'm just trying to work out where I'm going. That's all right. I know. Yeah, case in point. Street signs around here in the south are rarer than Fremantle Dockers premierships. Oh, okay, maybe not that rare, because they do come along every now and then. But just like the Dockers, they flatter to deceive, I reckon, because they give you one and they say go this way, and then you go that way, and that's it. There's no more signs. They run out of signs. My old man will be saying, well, you should have a GPS, and you know what, he's right. Next time, because I think as I get older, I'm getting less patience with trying to find my way around with map books and things like that. It was certainly a challenge when I was younger, and I devoured it, but not so much anymore. We've met so many lovely people, not only here, all over, but we've been here almost a week, and we haven't got many of them on film. You can't very much well pick up the camera and start filming a conversation, but some of the things that they say to us, you just laugh your head off.
It's wonderful.
Lovely, hospitable people. The weather is fantastic. You know, it's probably 34, 35 degrees, but a very clear heat here. The evenings are balmy. The food is something else. There's something else I wanted to say. We've just had lunch, which consisted of 2 bananas for me, 1 for BB, and 2 chopped chip cookies that were souvenired from the buffet table at the Golden Corral last evening. And that's what we do. We have maybe a little continental breakfast in the morning at the hotels, and then we have a little, maybe a banana. Yesterday we had about 5 or 6 Pringle chips each and a fizzy drink. We drink a lot of water, but the fizzy drink for lunch, and it fills you up, and you're right for the big dinners, whether they're buffets or not. They're big dinners. And we're just driving through the middle of Mooresville right at this moment. We were here the other day looking for Highway 3, which is just up here. So you're about up to date. This is our last day here in North Carolina, and we fly to Washington DC in the morning. So there we go. Got to get the car back in the morning. We've had it for 3 weeks and it's been a beauty. Very, very good. And as we drive back past a sad and empty Dale Earnhardt Incorporated and the Dale Earnhardt Ranch right next door, we head on down the road to Kannapolis, where he was born and raised. It's 10 miles, 10 or 12 miles from here. And I'm expecting Kannapolis to be a bit more run down. There's a good example. Very peaceful here at the moment in downtown Kannapolis. We are going to attempt to find the house where his mum still lives. She's been there for 62 years, 1949, where Dale grew up, where Ralph Earnhardt built all those cars that he won all those races with, where Ralph Earnhardt died actually in the workshop there. It's on the corner of Coach and Sedan Street here in Kannapolis. We've got no idea where it is, but half the fun is the thrill in the chase, eh? So we'll go and have a look. They're just at the western end of downtown. We'll turn around and, aren't we? No U-turn? Yeah, right. See if the trooper comes out from behind the tree. He's probably got his hat over his eyes having a nap. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. It's quiet. It's too quiet. That was a trooper. I think you saw it on film. I'll look at it later. That was coming down in front of the front of the cinema, the old style picture theatre there, and he had a good look at me, didn't he?
He did. He had a good long hard look through his sunglasses.
I think he saw me put it down straight away and he thought I'll let him off.
Yeah.
Would have been interesting though if he'd turned around and had a chat. Hasn't happened. All my trips around the USA, I've done 25,000 miles, I've never been pulled over yet. I'm a bit disappointed.
Give it time, there's still time.
Isn't this just brilliant? Like, it's well maintained, it's immaculate, but it's in a time warp. There's no neon signs.
No. Jeez, it looks old.
We're going down here for no other reason other than it looks interesting. That's a good enough reason, isn't it?
I reckon.
I reckon. How they say it around here.
Gosh. I don't know, this is formal enough to be a street.
It is down here in the south. There's a vet there. And an Oldsmobile. Go the Olds. Well, we've been driving around looking for the corner of Coach and Sedan, so we pretty much reckon we're sort of getting there, we're getting close, but we've had a fascinating time looking at all the communities in here, or the little community. Everything's quite close together, isn't it, BB?
Yeah.
But they're no smaller the area, I don't think, than what you would find in sort of North Perth and that sort of area back in the day. They were all pretty close together. Chrysler, this one. Cadillac. We'll keep looking. Getting close, what do you reckon? I reckon it's up here on the left, maybe straight ahead. It's the only place with any cars out the front. This is the corner of Coach and Sedan Street.
I think it's that Coach and Sedan.
There it is, right there. Right there. Do you reckon I should go and knock on the door?
Well, we've come all this way.
Martha Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt's mum, lives right there. And we've come a long way. That is the actual shop that Ralph Earnhardt ran all his cars out of. It's a shop, it's just a little shed. And Dale Earnhardt's career started right there. The stories this place could tell.
Yeah. Full of history.
Well, here we are. I can't quite believe it, because normally I wouldn't go and knock on someone's door, but as I told Mrs. Earnhardt, we've come a long way, haven't we? So this is Martha Earnhardt, for people back home that don't know. This is Dale Earnhardt's mum, and she still lives in the same house. How many years have you lived here?
57 almost.
57 years almost.
Will be in November.
She still lives in the same house that she lived with Ralph and raised her 4 children.
5 children.
Sorry. As soon as I said it, Miss Earnhardt, I knew I got it wrong. Dale was the oldest?
No, he was my oldest son. I have
Oldest
two girls older than him.
Oh, okay, all right then. Yeah, I should know that, shouldn't I?
Two boys younger, so there's 5 altogether. He was my first boy.
And then Ralph, because Ralph, Dale's dad, his whole racing career, he built those cars out the back right here, didn't he?
Yeah, that's where he raced out of.
And Mrs. Earnhardt is most gracious to let us in here and say hello and give her our best wishes from all the way from Australia. I know my brother especially is just not going to believe, and my dad, they're not going to believe this. So
Yeah.
So yeah, and isn't she looking well? She's 81 years young.
Absolutely.
Whatever she's doing here in Kannapolis, North Carolina, you keep doing it.
Well, if my body will keep up, I'll be all right.
And this is her race room, she calls it. She's got some of her memorabilia in here from Dale's career. Oh, in fact, all of the boys.
Yeah.
Ralph, Dale Jr. and Kerry.
Kerry and
Yeah, fantastic.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Got ours made, and that was not long before he passed away.
Yeah.
That's Martha and Ralph. Not long before, as she just said, not long before he passed away. So that's lovely. That's a really nice one.
It's like some of them, they get such more natural smiles and things like that. And it's like you were saying, your favourite video of Dale.
He had a scar on the right side of his face, where his mother, when he was about 18 months old, they lived down in the country, and the road had ruts in it, you know.
Yeah.
And they had a mod or T mod or something.
Yeah, okay. And in the days before baby seats.
Yeah, she didn't. She got out of the rut and it run into a fence.
Yeah.
Or something, and the glass cut his face.
Oh.
And the doctor told him after he got grown that he could fix it again, where it would just be a little hair.
Yeah.
But
He said no.
He said no. That was just part of him. He had that one.
And he never got injured really badly in a race car, did he? Ralph, he never got that badly injured, did he?
Oh no.
No.
He scared me to death a couple times. And then, in fact, at Hickory, up there at Hickory, I think they still race up there, but it was dirt when he raced there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Won 17 races, Saturday night races straight. Saturday night. And people.
They were stinking up the show,
They
as they
finally
say.
put a bounty on him, you know, to anybody could outrun him, or they had to wreck him to outrun him.
Have you ever thought about leaving this house, moving?
Well, Dale, before he passed away, he was wanted to buy a house and let me live in it.
Yep.
And I was going to sell mine. But I've lived here for 57 years. Well, I was pregnant with Danny when I moved here.
Okay, yeah.
And he'll be 57 in November.
Yep.
And I just couldn't think of anywhere else I wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he wanted me to be out closer to where he lived. And I just never.
It's not that far away though, is it really? It's only
No,
like.
but I was close to everything here. My grocery
Yes.
stores and stores.
Well, you've been here so long. Yeah.
And you'll have people you know all around you and everything.
Of course, that's changed a lot. I got Mexicans next door now. But I hadn't had a problem.
No
with that.
problems.
They come and go. They don't stay very long.
No.
We'd better get out of your hair and let you get on with your day.
That's my parents up there on that.
On the other ones, wondering about that. And who's that handsome couple getting married down there? On the next shelf.
It's me and Ralph.
Oh, wonderful.
How old were you then,
I
Martha?
was barely 17.
Oh.
17 July, I got married in August. My mom had to sign for me to get married.
Yeah.
How do you reckon that went, Barbara?
I would say pretty good. We've just met a very nice lady by the name of Martha Earnhardt, of course, and she was so gracious and so welcoming.
Okie dokie, we've had our fun here in the corner of Coach and St Anne Street, Kannapolis, North Carolina. It's time to head back to our digs back in Mooresville. We're about 15 miles away. Organise some stuff. We've got to fly to DC in the morning, so we've got to pack everything up because we've got to obviously get rid of the car. And we'll go and eat some barbecue ribs for the last time, some southern barbecue ribs, North Carolinian ones anyway, before the fair turns to pizza and more Italian type stuff, I'm guessing. It's up to us really, isn't it?
Well, what we're doing is this every Wednesday. I know you're on your way to go somewhere. Every Wednesday we cook out burgers and dogs. We bring them in here,
Oh yeah?
and then we have some Coke and beer and water, and there's some other things. But now,
Cool.
where's home for you? You don't sound like from New York. Australia.
Well, there's 4 of us.
From Australia?
Yeah,
Are you too?
yeah.
We had a couple here from
I saw the shirt. I just did quick.
Oh yeah, well that gives it away.
Well, listen, hey, Robin. Yeah. I want 2 funnel webs and a couple redbacks in there.
Make us feel at home.
Great to have you. We had last year we had 5 Aussies, and then we had a couple guys from some New Zealanders come down, going to the race shops and check.
Yeah.
We
Well,
were
that's
here for about 10 days. It was pretty fabulous. I
Yeah.
said, "Where's your wives?" He said, "They're happy we're gone." You know.
nice one. Well, we'll go and have a chat.
We cook out here, and then we have American beer.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, and I have friends in Australia. I know Foster's is America's idea what the beer is like, but that's not Australian, but it's...
I've never once ever seen anyone in Australia drink Foster's, have you?
No.
No.
That's the image they put out.
Well, that's the image. Yeah, I'm hearing it. Having turned down the kind offer from the hotel manager, in fact he was the owner, to have burgers and beer with them, complimentary, because we had our hearts set on this Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue. Having had a swim, we're now here to eat. We haven't done it all day. 2 bananas. Let's get in there and have a look at these North Carolinian barbecue ribs. No, I'm not worried about any other shit tonight. It's just ribs, because we leave the south tomorrow. Well, you get sides with your ribs, so it's barbecue, baked beans. I'm in love with him. Those ribs.
And the garlic bread doesn't count as a side. You just
No,
get that
garlic
as well,
bread's extra as
actually.
well. So you got your
So you've
beans,
got beans and baked potato,
potato,
are
and
well
this
nice
macaroni
sides.
cheese as well. And if we finish those, we can have as many ribs as we want.
Toes
And
will be very necessary.
if you don't like the sauce, you got your choice here, all barbecue. The macaroni and the beans, the baked beans were diabolical.
Looks like it.
And your green beans are unbelievable.
They're good.
Some of the pork
They are good.
they've got through
They've
them.
got a kind of smoked pork flavour through them, through a few little pieces in them.
The ribs are excellent.
Ribs are extremely good.
But with some of that sweet sauce in them, even better. And you haven't touched the spud.
I have actually tasted it. It's good. It balances quite nicely to have something like that amongst all the stronger flavours.
Terrible. They were shocking.
Grand clean-up job now.
Good old Sonny. Thanks, Sonny. $13 each.